Yeah, welcome to this session of the Django tutorial series. And in this session, we are going to be looking at the Django admin, which is the easy way I've been talking about for the last during the last section. And this easy way, it's like very easy, and this session will be very short. And when we talk about Django admin is just a built-in application of the Django framework, and it provides a user interface unlike the shell thing that we have used previously in the session. It provides a user interface for you to undo, manage your data in the application, and I tell you, it's a very powerful feature that it allows you to quickly create a user interface to manage your models. If you have several models, instead of you to have to be doing it using the Python shell, you just use the interface shipped, and that is one of the beauty of Django. It's instead of you to now build your application and go to the admin and start building the admin interface. No, Python comes shipped with the administrator interface, and anything you can, and basically the administrator interface is just used for the CRUD operation, which is the create, the read, the update and delete of models. And I tell you, it is very customizable, and it also allow you to define the data that you want to display and how you want to display it and so on and so forth. But there's a disclaimer here. You should also note that this interface is not meant for the end user of the application. It is meant for you, strictly meant for you as the administrator, because if you give the user interface access to this admin panel, then they can do and undo with your application. They can add, maybe your application is a banking application, and they can just credit every end user, and all the end user have credits in their wallet. But that is, by the way, you should note that this admin interface is strictly meant for you and it is not meant for the end user. So let's jump to our code. Of course, we are going to continue with the code that we have been using, and since we'll be working with the terminal, of course the server side application, just come to these three dots, go to the terminal, then go to new terminal. So that will create your terminal for you. I delete the previous one and be sure that you are currently in that same folder. Of course, I am sure now. And I told you that anytime you want to start working with your application, you should start your virtual environment. That is the major thing. You should start your virtual environment. To start your virtual environment, just go source vmv script, and we go the way of active activate. So you see that now our virtual environment has been created. Now there's something I want to draw your attention to. When you look at the URL of the project itself, which is the coding script that we have been working with, you will see that it has admin shipped in. And even when we created the first migration, if you watch the previous videos, you realize that some migrations that we did not even create, it was shipped with our application. That is the pre-built Django application. And even when you go to our website, or sorry, the database, and this SQL viewer that we are using to view our database, SQLite database, you see that this was the only model that we created, which is student management, and that's student management we created student. But you see that you see Django migrations. Of course, these are all by the way, but you notice that we have auth user, authentication user, auth permissions, and so on and so forth. So that is to tell you that Django has some ready-made platform for you, and the one we are going to be looking at now is the Django admin. Now you can see that apart from the fact that you have the default URL, you also have the admin. Now let's visit the admin. Of course, we need to start our application. Now let's start our application and see the admin interface. Let's just do run server, run server. Now our application started. So I hold the control and I click on the application. Now this is the default page that we built in the previous session. Now let's go to the admin. And you can see the Django administration panel that comes shipped with Django. Now you see that this, I did not build this, and it comes shipped with Django. So of course, if you try to log in we try to log in, you realize that it's telling us that please enter correct username and password, meaning that we don't have an admin user yet. So to create an admin user, just come back to your application, let me stop the server. To stop your server, you just press Ctrl C, it will stop the server. So I clean the, so that we have a clean work environment. Now let us create an admin user. To create an admin user, all you just need to do is just do Python or py, but let's do Python now. Python manage.py, and let's now create super user. That is very important. That is how to create an admin user. Python manage.py, and we create the super user. Now once we, now it asks me for the username of the super user, let me call it admin. Email address of the super user, I'll say admin@gmail.com, and the password I will also say admin. Of course it will not be visible, so once I press enter, I press admin again, of course it will not be visible for security. And it will ask me that okay, the password is too similar to the username, it's too short, it contains at least 8 characters, this password is too common. Do you want to continue? Yes, I just want to continue, but please don't use this for production. Don't use admin. If your application is going to the production, you should use a strong password and a strong username, because once the user access this interface, the administrator interface, then your application is open and they can do and do create our super user. So let me now start the application again, and we now log in to see how the admin interface look like. Run server. So the server is working now. I go back, I refresh the login page. So now I've created my admin user. I then do admin, and I log in, and boom, this is our admin interface. Let me make it to be light mode. Now this is our admin interface. You can see that we have the groups, we have the users, but the question is, of course, remember we have a student model too, but we don't have it here. And in order to make sure that the student model is shown here, what you just need to do is just come to your application, then come to this admin. Under the application that you are working with or that you are working on, you should come to this admin.py. This is where you can see register your models here. It's only these models that you register here that you are going to be seeing in here. Now that is what you are going to be doing. So now to register our model, we need to import the model. So let's import the model first. Take note of the fact that the admin.py, it's inside this student management application file. So just inside the same file folder or directory, now I want to enter the models. From the models, please import students, which is the model that we want to add, that we want to register to the admin interface. You can see that we have the student model. Take note of that. So now let's come back to the admin. So now that we have imported our model, let us now register the model. So to register the model, we can just say students admin, call it a class, and since you have the admin imported here, you then pass the admin dot model admin. So that is just the convention for doing it. So we then, having done that, so let's just say list display. So that means the feed that you want to display, list display, which be equals to, of course, the feeds that you want to display. You want to display the first name, you want to display the last name, and you also want to possibly want to display the age. Don't forget we are working with this model. Possibly you want to display the email. Of course, you add the list that you want to display here. So once you have done that, you then go admin, which is the admin site. Don't forget that all this will not work if you don't register your application in here. The reason we could link it is because our application is registered. So if your application is not registered, it will not be showing there. So now let's come back to the admin. So now we now say admin site, then we go ahead to register the model, and the model we want to register is students, and the class for the student is student admin. So take note of that fact. The model and the class, this class can contain other description that we are going to be seeing later. So let me just add the, and that's now I want to display here is, I also want to display the is registered. Let me just copy and paste that. Is registered. So depends on you. So once you save that now, you will now come back to your admin interface and you refresh. And you can see now that under the student management application, we have the student model. So if you click on it, you see that we have the first name, the last name, the age, the email, and the is registered. So let's see if I comment out this and I save. Of course, let me just return none. Okay, let's just leave that. Let's just leave that. And of course, if I remove this is registered, of course you can predict what will happen, that the is registered feed will not be displayed. The register field will not be displayed. So if I refresh, you can see that this register feed is not displayed. So it's just a way of you defining the column that you want to display when this model is shown on the admin interface. Now, there's another thing you can do. Of course, you can have several data or several records, maybe 1000 records, 2000 records, as the case may be, and you might want to search for the record. Of course, you can add students, of course, the first name, the last name. Instead of us adding through this using the shell, you can just go first name, let me say James this time around, the last name, let me say Tam, the age, let me say 15, the email, let me say james@gmail.com, the phone number, let me just give some random phone number. Is registered, I'll say yes. The date join, I'll just pick today as the date join, and I'll save. So once I save, you see how easy it is instead of us doing it with the shell. So now to, if you click on this now, it allows you to edit. Of course, I can decide to change this to capital letter, and I can decide to save. So it's also allowed. So once you click, instead of you doing it with the shell, which is the hard way, the easy way is just for you to, if you want to add students, you add. If you want to edit, you just click on it. Once you click on it, it gives you chance or opportunity for you to edit. So now we have seen how to, okay, then let's see how to search, so that in case we have several data and we might just want to might just want to search for the record. So what you just need to do is just add in here search feeds, and I'll say the search feed. Okay, I want the user to be able to search my record with the first name. Don't forget, it should be the same with the feed, with the way you define your feed. Take note of that, otherwise the code will not work appropriately. The last name, and possibly I want to search with the age, as the case may be. So if I save now, let's see that in action before we build on that. If I refresh, you see that I have the search feed. So if I start pressing something now, it will search, of course, no student font. So if I click on it, okay, let me search John. Let me search for John. You can see now that I'm getting John. Of course, if I decide to clean this, so let me say I'm searching for 40, because I can search by the age too. So you see that I get that. So now we can also filter, like, okay, I want to display maybe you are working with some, I want to display only students that are in year 4, students that are in year 5 and the like. So you can also choose list filter, which makes your application where I want to filter those that are registered from those that are not registered. I can just exactly the way I have it here, I can just put it here. So, and I can, the way I'm able to add several feeds in here, the way I'm able to add several feeds in here, I can also add several feeds here by saying, okay, let me also add another feed, which is, let me say I want to filter by the age, and I save. So if I refresh now, you can see here now that I have my search, which is the search feed, and also have my filter. So let's say I want to search for those that are registered alone. Yes, you can see I have only those that are registered alone, and if I want those that are not registered, I have those that are registered. If I want to display all, I have all, and that is the easy way by which you can manipulate and add, insert, get your record using the admin interface without having to go the route of the shell. So you see how easy it is, and that's